Great pause, dude.
This is so unfair from Eden. I'm not doing this video anymore. It's gonna make us fight.
You should know.
I'll text you guys if it makes us fight. I'll put out a community post.
Whatever.
What's up? Welcome to Snipe Life, where we look at creativity through the lens of Christianity. My name is Brandon, and this is my wife, Vanessa.
Hello.
We talk about Christian subjects and the chosen, Christian media, different stuff like that. Today, we're going to be breaking down Season 3, Episode 4. We're going to be specifically talking about Simon and Eden in this one.
Get wrecked.
Really interesting.
You ready? We're going to put our gloves on, and we're going to...
We're just going to fight. We're just going to fight this whole time. We've never fought ever in our marriage. And today we may have our first fight. So
Whatever.
You guys are here to witness that.
You need to stop.
No, to be honest, we fight a lot because we're very passionate people. We're very stubborn people. But I think in a lot of ways that makes our marriage stronger at the end of the day. I think we're stronger as people. Don't touch my hand, okay? That was actually a joke, okay? Don't beat me up in the comments, okay?
Yeah, you're gonna get wrecked.
But anyway, so we know what marriage is like. We've been married for almost 10 years, and I know some of you are laughing at that, like, oh, haha, babies, you know?
10 years.
But you know, we know a little bit about marriage and each other.
Like 8. We're going on 9.
Yes. Almost 9 years this year, and gonna be very epic. But anyway, let's talk about not our marriage, but the marriage of none other than Peter and his wife. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Now I have pressed the right button.
Okay.
Let's jump into it. Let's watch this one with sound, actually, because I want to hear what they say and kind of dive into it. And fight about it,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're basically going to be wrong about whatever comes up in here.
Yeah.
But I do like what Dallas said, so let's talk about that for a second. Dallas, in the live stream tonight, he said basically like he took real moments from his life and from his marriage, you know, that they had like real conversations that they've had or real words that they've said.
Re-entry?
Yeah, he said when you come back from a long trip or you're kind of like in this zone for a long time and you finally come back home to your family.
And you both have false expectations.
Right. And that happens to us all the time. For sure.
Even staying in the same house.
Yeah.
Not leaving.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely not perfect in that. But let's go ahead and listen to this and watch through some of this, and we'll pause throughout and kind of have some discussion.
I'm laughing at the first thing that happens.
This would definitely be me.
This would definitely be me.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, surprise.
And then I'd try to deck you.
Yeah.
Where's your husband?
Great pause, dude. That was great.
I love this part. So he comes in,
so
he tries to surprise her. I love that she actually does have like a balled up face.
Yeah.
Like she's ready to go, you know? Because it's 100% would be you. Yeah.
100%. What?
I love this part, but we love Lada too. Like we've had some conversation with her. I've interviewed her a couple of different times now. Well, you interviewed her once, and I interviewed her a couple times. Yes. So, yeah, she's awesome. She's always super, super nice when you meet her, and she's so obviously really amazing at her job. I think this season is going to stretch her even more than any other season has so far. She's a great actress,
though. Like it feels raw and real.
Yeah. There's just little things that she does that's like, oh, she's angry, or like, she just got like scared by that, or you know,
this feels so real. Like I totally would react this way.
Yeah, I just love that. Really good.
What are you doing?
We're ready to fight.
I love that.
Oh, you can't do that. Don't do that again.
He said, "Were you ready to fight?" I didn't catch that before.
Yeah. And so this is like it's a mirror, right, of what we saw in episode 1, where he comes home and they're ready to like go, you know?
Sure.
To get it on.
Yeah, okay.
To do the do.
Okay, Brandon. My goodness.
But this is like a parallel to that, right? Like that re-entry was like interrupted by other people kind of coming in and interrupting the moment. And then they're like, okay, well, we really need time together since these people are messing up our moment. And they were able to team up because they were kind of against this barrier, right? But here, it's almost like they don't have that at this very moment. And so like it's now they can see each other fully, right? And it's kind of like, you know, something's off here, right?
Oh,
like they feel like,
well, come on,
they're not hearing
let's
each
talk
other.
about it, because
Yeah, we'll
there's reasons.
You're lucky I missed you.
I missed you so much.
I miss you, love.
But give me food.
I'm sorry, it's still a bit of a
He
mess
didn't do
in
that.
here. I wasn't expecting you till tonight.
I don't care. You know that.
Yeah, the I don't care, you know, that is interesting because he's like, I don't care about the mess. But I think it's also like, I really don't care that you would have cleaned up at all.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like you would react the same exact
For
way.
sure. I wouldn't have
And
cared.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's not beautiful. Like when you leave for that retreat, the Christian retreat that you go, like I spent so much time cleaning the entire house. And because you're out, and so I can clean more and I could do more stuff. And then it's like, I got everything done. And then, did you see? Did you notice? And it's like, I don't care. Like I didn't even know. I don't.
It's just not my thing. Like, you know, for me, I'm not the guy that would notice that. But yes. So then he goes and he tries to get some food.
Yeah.
Definitely miss this. Starving.
Did you
That's
not eat
a
enough?
low-key punch in the face.
We're fine.
Yeah,
We
I could see
traveled
that.
Way too much for the amount of food we got.
So, notice anything different?
So this, I think, is so, from my perspective. Right?
No, I agree. I agree with whatever you're
This
saying.
is so unfair from Eden. Like, she has no idea what he's just gone through. The fact that he's been encountered by demons, he's been healing the sick, he's surrounded by sick and dirty people all the time, people that are, you know, like he's trying to preach this good news. He's just been in front of a witch doctor. You know, like there are so many things that he doesn't care about dirt
Absolutely.
and grime
like
and
he's
a
just been
table
doing
setting.
so many important things, you know? Like why
Right.
would he care about you move the table 5 inches?
Again, this is like almost coming back from war, right? Like, why would I care about the candlesticks you got? You know,
It wasn't candlesticks.
when I just saw my when I just saw my buddy blown up, you know, like that's the
I
kind of
feel you, I feel
mentality that he's coming back with, and she doesn't recognize that either. So it's like both of them aren't recognizing each other's mentality during this moment, you know.
Because later, he says, "Go ahead."
Yeah. We'll continue on, but I just want to say that because throughout this whole conversation, we have to remember they're just not on the same page. They're totally opposite mentalities here.
I was like, "Girl, come on, what are you doing? Why did you ask that?"
House.
There's something different?
Like, why would you ask?
It's normally there, but I moved it here to create a little more room.
I moved it 2 feet,
And I moved some
Simon.
things around so more light would come in. And Ima gave me some of her cloths to put on that wall.
Those weren't there before?
Of course not. I got them while you were gone. You didn't notice anything different?
Come
You
on,
live
girl.
in this house.
Sorry, I'm just exhausted. It looks great.
And again, this kind of goes along with our timeline thing. Like, we don't know how long they were gone. We know it wasn't like years, but it was definitely more than a month.
Yeah.
So we're not exactly sure how long they were gone.
Yeah.
Should you take a nap today while I go to market?
I was hoping
Like,
to
why would
actually-
she ask that?
Right.
If I can-
No, like, I don't want you to take a nap. I don't want you to take a nap.
Uh-huh.
I want you to come home. Like, okay, there's 2 sides, right? There's 2 sides to everything.
Yeah.
I want you to come home and, like, be hopeful. Like, what, you don't want to spend time with me? You don't want to, like, hang out with me? You don't
Yeah.
want to see me? You don't want to chill with me? Like, one of my love languages is quality time.
Sure.
So, like, come and spend time with me. Like, you're just going to go take a nap instead
Although
of...
Vanessa does claim to have all 5 love languages.
I
so.
do. Ooh. Timothy, I need your help. But then, like, he just got home, girl. Like, he wants to, like, chill. Like, you don't know everything that he's been to. Like, why didn't you try to understand him?
Yeah.
So, like, I understand both sides. Have I been eaten? Yes. Do I not understand you sometimes when you come and you're tired and want to do? Yeah, because I'm a female.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things here, like Justine Carter says, I didn't get the fact that Eden was so into her new furnishings. The thing is, Eden doesn't care about the furnishings. She wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Right? And
Somebody said that.
So we've had this issue with her for the whole season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season 1, Jesus comes to her and he says, I see you. But since then, she's felt unseen.
Yeah.
You know?
Hannah, who keeps saying the same things we keep saying. We're like twinsies. She wants
Great minds.
She wants to feel seen by Simon the same way she was seen by Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, she wants to be seen, and she like she said, she felt seen by Jesus. But even in episode 1 of season 3, she says, sometimes I can't remember his face. So she's like, she's kind of losing that, right? And she wants her husband to see her. She wants God to see her, and I know that she trusts in God, but at the same time, she's kind of dealing with these different things, right?
Yeah.
So she's not quite there all the way. She's trying to figure it out still. So yes, she wants to be seen here, and Simon wants, like, he just wants to rest, right? And here it's unfair too, because in episode 5 we've already seen part of the lines that Eden has, and she says, "You didn't even ask me how I was when you came home."
Yeah, it's true.
She says, "All you did was come in and take a nap," and then he says, "You told me to take a nap,"
That's
which
true.
is true.
It's true.
She tells him right here,
"Do you want to go in and take a nap?"
You should take a nap while I go to the thing, right?
No, she said something else. Can you rewind it a bit?
Yeah, I can rewind it a bit. Does she say, "Do you want to," or does she say, "You should"? Because I thought she said, "You should."
Let's see her.
You live in this house.
Sorry, I'm just exhausted. It looks great.
Oh, should you take a nap today?
Should
at the
you?
market?
So she's like
hoping to
suggesting. She's suggesting.
She was more hoping. I know as a woman, she was hoping he would say, "No, love, I want to spend all my time with you. I want to hang out with you. How was your day today?" That's what I would have wanted.
Yeah. Let's go color some stuff or something. That's what you would want.
Color?
Let's go do some coloring
Let's
books.
go play board games. Yeah, coloring was fun too.
Let's play
do
Jenga.
a puzzle.
Yeah.
We played Jenga yesterday. He's rubbing it in my face.
Anyway, but yes, so here, like, she's suggesting, hey, take a nap, right?
Timothy said this: "When I returned from Afghanistan war, my wife and family wanted me to run around town to see them, but I was exhausted and to shower and to shower, sleep under a roof and relax. My tude was not appreciated."
Yeah. No, I could totally see that for sure. And obviously this isn't war, but I'd say for Simon it's probably similar, seeing demon possessions and stuff like that. Like, definitely. But Eden's the one that suggested, or at least insinuated, should you take a nap?
Yeah.
And she knows, like, hey, he probably wants to do that, but she's still being kind of selfish in what she wants to do as well and what she wanted. But we know that later on in episode 5, she's going to be like, "Oh, you took a nap, And he's like, "You told me to." Like, and I totally see that from his side as well. And then we also get from the sneak peek later on, he says, Gaius says, he says, "Gaius, your advice didn't work." And then Gaius is like, "Well, did you mean it?" And he's like, "Well, how could I mean it? I don't even know what I did wrong."
I hate
and
that.
It's like so.
But guys, you're like that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of moments when I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah, but apologize.
Apologize for what?
I mean it. You gotta mean it.
All right, Eden. All right.
If I can get a little sleep now, be refreshed for dinner.
Yep. And he's letting her know exactly what he wants.
Hannah said, "I would love a replayability in my marriage."
Yeah,
yes.
True.
A nap now?
Now not good?
No, it's fine. I was hoping we could. Never mind. No, it's fine. I'll go now.
Yeah, with the boys all coming back in, Judas is inviting them to come by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is there more bread than this?
Tomorrow? You just got
We
back?
just want to connect a bit, talk about the journey. And they wanted to meet here, which is annoying, but it's been a while since we've seen each other, so.
Yes, I know.
This is just the best spot to go.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen each other. She's like, "Yeah, the exact amount of time that that I haven't seen you. Yeah. What are you talking about?"
Imago Day said Eden is nesting. What do you think?
Maybe. I think that I think that Eden is pregnant. I think that she's going to have a miscarriage. From the interviews that I've done and the way that people have answered specific questions that I've asked, from the behind the scenes that we've seen, from the trailer, from all these different things that Dallas is building up about the storyline of Eden, I think we're going to see a miscarriage with Eden. And I think it's going to be a very, very hard moment for them. But I don't know how it's going to play out. And I could be totally wrong about that, but, who knows.
Dwayne Smith said, "My thought was that Eden was going to break the news of pregnancy. She is nesting."
Yeah. I don't think she's going to break that news at all. I think that she's going to have a miscarriage and then tell Simon about it.
That's what you think?
Possibly. I know that next episode is the episode where we see her in the mikveh.
Yeah.
And she comes to Simon. But I don't know why that would be exactly, other than, I don't know. I don't know.
He didn't know, or they didn't know. Like, because they don't have pregnancy tests. Like, how would she know?
Right. Well, she wouldn't. He does mention in this episode, too, it's not her time of the month. Are you on your
time? Yeah.
So maybe, like, she times, obviously she would know that rhythm, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyways, let's continue on.
There are more?
More what?
No bread for when they come.
I can make some. I will stop by the well for more water.
Thank you. You make the best bread. They'll appreciate it.
Yeah, have a nice nap.
Thank you. Wow. I love you.
So
glad to be home.
Love you.
So oblivious.
Travis Blackburn said, I feel for both of them in this moment.
Yeah, I definitely feel for them as well, but I can definitely see both sides, of like her feeling hurt that he's not putting her first, but also that he needs rest and he's just come home from this crazy journey, like his mind is nowhere near normal husband mind, So I think that's a interesting clash, but I think it is realistic in the way that they portray it here. Yeah, really, really good. But also at the end of that conversation when he's basically picking the boys over her and like, saying, hey, they're going to come over tomorrow. Can we make some food, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like you didn't even ask me what I wanted to do or like you made these plans without me.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
So, yeah, I'm glad you understand too.
Anyway.
Let's continue on here.
Where he goes off.
Yeah, so you see this scene with the boys in which, there's a little bit of tension there. We also see this moment with Andrew where he's kind of seeing that there's some cracks kind of going on here. And he asks both Eden and Simon, like, if everything's okay. And they both kind of dismiss him, but he sees it. I wonder if that's like a Christ working through him moment too, or, or has that power gone away from them completely or whatever, but quite interesting there.
Where's the moment with Gaius?
We'll get to that. Oh. There's one more moment with Eden, here, right? Yeah.
Oh, even when she goes off on Victoria.
Veronica. We'll do a whole another video on that because I want to talk about Veronica by herself.
It's not that time.
Please don't talk to me about things like that.
He said it's not that time.
I know I make a lot of mistakes, so if it's my fault, I will apologize. But I have to know what I've done first.
Maybe it's what you haven't done, Simon. I'm going to go for a walk.
There, that's a start. What haven't I done? I'll do it 3 times over.
I don't want to be the one to have to tell you if you know me.
Yep.
Good evening.
I don't want to have to tell you. You should know.
I'm not doing this video anymore. I'm not doing this video anymore. It's gonna make us fight.
You should know.
I'll text you guys if it makes us fight. I'll put out a community post.
Whatever.
So she kind of covers up quickly. Obviously, this is like a modesty thing for.
But I thought she was gonna go out for a walk.
Have you already?
She was, but then they came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She still would have put it on. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But she just wasn't thinking. She was in an argument, though. And Simon's just fed up because he feels like he can't win, right? Like I've been in that position before where you feel like you're just overwhelmed. You don't know what's happening and you feel like you can't win no matter what you do, right? Like you're trying to offer as much help as you can, but then the wife is not taking that help, right? Like she's just like, yeah, you don't get it. You don't get it. So I've been in that position too. So I understand his frustration for sure.
Respect for his privacy, please.
So this is what it's gonna be like now?
Simon.
Like what? I'm sorry, Master. It's just upsetting that after a long journey, I come home and my house is not my home. It's a meeting place and a forum.
So they must have already paused.
A house?
They must have already had he took a nap, they came over.
Yeah.
She did other stuff.
Yeah.
And now this is... So this is like the...
This is almost the end of the episode, yeah.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, this, like, because at first... Huh?
Don't touch your mic. It'll mess with
Okay, it was touching my skin. What was I saying? Why was it center me? What was I saying? Oh, because at first when we first watched it, I was like, oh, this is when they came. Like, he knew they were coming, so why is he going off on them? But I see, like, this is a different time. This is a different time.
Yeah. They're just trying to run away from the people who are chasing Jesus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
House cannot have many functions?
No.
Brother!
Let him go.
Simon has a few things he has to work out himself.
Yep. And then the lady's comforting Eden. Works out pretty good. This whole scene with Gaius is really interesting as well. I don't want to play through the whole thing because we don't need all the dialogue, but this whole scene with Gaius is really interesting. I love how they connected them together. Mm-hmm. Just knowing, like, I don't know, Gaius and Simon are interesting as a unit here. Mm-hmm. And kind of seeing them work more and more together. And we're obviously going to see more of them throughout the season working together to fix the cistern or whatever. I think obviously that's going to turn into more. I think this connection is how we're going to find out about his sick servant.
Yes.
And then also how kind of everything kind of comes to fruition later on as he comes to faith and how that happens.
Agreed.
But Gaius tries to give him some advice here. He says, always learn these 5 words. Uh-huh. I'm sorry, you're right.
You are right.
You are right, yeah. Which he says doesn't work in the next episode, which is funny. Yeah. But
Linda Poindexter says, Brandon, you'd better be careful or you'll be sleeping on the couch tonight.
This couch is pretty comfortable, so
Stop it.
Just kidding. Just a joke. Just a jokey joke.
Jokey joke.
But I do love some of the things that we see in this scene in particular. We see Simon as he kind of goes back to his fisherman background,
like
right?
He grabs that rope like just now. He just grabbed it.
He immediately grabs it as he sits down and begins kind of calming himself, but it's almost as if he's going back to that fisherman mentality. Like, this is who I was before. And again, the whole premise of kind of this season is not what we were, right?
Yeah.
But Simon is kind of going back to that. Jinx wants to go out. No worries. But we kind of see him revert back to that a little bit, and then Gaius plays into what he's trying to say to Simon as well, right? Go to bed. We'll take her after this segment. But we see as Simon is kind of dealing with this, right?
Yeah.
And not only is he dealing with Eden, but he's also dealing with he's kind of frustrated with Jesus as well. Mm-hmm. Like, Jesus, why haven't you done all these things? Why haven't you why haven't you taken care of this? Why am I fighting with my wife? Why is this even a problem?
Yeah.
If you can heal the blind and let this, if you can, raise this lame person or, do all these things, get this demon out of this person, why can't you help my wife and I have a regular conversation, Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's part of it as well. And so he's just fed up with the whole thing right now. And Gaius kind of relates to that because he's frustrated with what Jesus is doing to the town overall as well,
right.
But it is interesting how they're kind of connecting here. And it's not like Simon is going down that path of I hate Jesus, because obviously we're not seeing that. No. But he's having a moment where he can connect with Gaius on a different level than he's been able to before,
Yeah, plus I feel like Gaius is seeing things that he can't. That's why I think that's why he brings up impasse. Yeah. You can't turn away from this. I've seen too much. I know too much. Right. I can't turn away from this.
Right. Just like Jairus in a lot of ways. Where Jairus is having this moment of impasse. He's like, no, I've seen that Christ is Jesus is the Messiah.
Yeah.
He is the Christ, Right. How can I back away from that? How can I not see that anymore? Mm-hmm. I would never want to take away I would never want to go back to the ignorance of before I read your letter, is what he says, right? And so now I think Gaius is going to get to that point as well, but right now he's not there. He's still kind of in that ignorance of, what he doesn't know, what he doesn't know. Hey, if you like that small piece of this live stream, the whole thing's 2.5, 3 hours long, and you can watch the whole thing right now over on our Patreon. Really easy to sign up, $5, $10, or $25 a month, and this is the best way that you can help to support our ministry and our channel here on YouTube. So I'd love to see you over there. Anyway, see you on the next one. Peace.